Okay, folks, right. Yeah, I'm just going to do a little quick one here. You seem to like the quick ones, so you does. Right, so just going to start off with some oxide red and some mineral spirits here, just as a background color. And just to take the white off this. And then I will draw the landscape in on top of this, just by wiping it out. And then I will walk away for 10 minutes and let this dry off. I'll hit it with a little bit of a hair dryer at the same time, just to help the mineral spirits of it dry off. Right, so now we are here. So I'm going to get some kitchen towel. And then I'm going to leave out what I think I want. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out most of the sky here and maybe put it back in again, but I want to leave a tree here. So I do, and then bring out some water here. Okay, just bring out some water along here. All right. Now, I'm going to use a cloth here. It helps remove a bit more than the kitchen towel does. And let me see I'll have the line horizon about here-ish. Okay, now you can see the tree sitting there already. So you can. Now let me see. So let me see that we are here. A little bit of a reflection here. And bringing this up here. Bringing this across the whole way across. That'll be the horizon, a low horizon, or low or horizon-ish. Now I'll bring in some clouds along here. Now I'm going to walk away here for 10 minutes or so. Let that tack up a bit, and I'll hit it with a little bit of a hair dryer while I'm not recording, so that you don't have to listen to the hair dryer. Alright folks, now this is tacked up a bit. Still a little bit wet, but it's good for the purposes. Good for the purposes that I am using it for. Now let me just collect a couple of brushes here, and they're too big. I'll use this smallish one. Nothing special about it, folks, just an ordinary Rosemary & Co, I think it is. Size 5, long, flat. Alright, now let's lay in some darker. Now I've kept this down here. So I have just lay in some darks here. To make it a little bit green. And in doing so, adding it to that red will really grey it out a touch. So let me just lay down the idea of this here. Let me see. Just creating the background here. Nice and fast, folks. Don't want to be faffing around with it. Just nice and fast. Trying to keep that that background showing through the tree some degree here. Not that I'm just trying my best to not knock that tree out of the way. Let me just see. I'll put a wee horizon line in here. Okay. Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay. So let me see, a bit broader actually, you know. Just make this a little bit broader. That's nice, that's nice. Right, just going to slow down a touch here, just let things develop. Okay, that's good. And what I will do actually is, I think I'll just move into the sky area here. So I does make myself a nice green, or not green, a nice grey orange. So get myself out a plenty orange here. And let's just grey out this orange. I'll put a little bit of blue in this orange. Actually, I'll make it a bit more red. Put a little bit of blue in this orange, a little bit of ultramarine here, which also greens it. So you just have to play a little bit of raw umber as well, and a little bit of cerulean. So let me see here. Now it's a bit green, so a little bit of blue in it, a little bit more. Just keep trying to grey it out. A little bit of black, a little bit of raw umber. Just adding a little bit of that orange to it. Yeah, that's better. That's getting there. A little bit more umber. That's better. Now let's just brighten it up a touch. That's it. That's more like it now. So let me see what we have here. Okay, not so bad. Not so bad. I'm just laying down the idea of it, just the shape of it for now. And it's not, no, it's too green. It's too green. So I'm going to add a little bit of red to it here. Okay, a little bit of cadmium. It's a bit better. Plus it'll also work on the with the background there. That background will help grey out that green a touch, but still too green for me. It's a bit better. Just adding a lot of cadmium red on it there. And I'm just marking for things at the minute. And we'll wipe a good bit of this out whenever the time comes. Okay. Now, okay. Little bit of yellow in it. Okay, that's all right. Now it's coming along. Oh yeah, you can see that now. All right, it'll be shortly enough time for a little bit of wiping out from here and there. Okay. Alrighty now, alrighty now. Just trying to keep some of the tones that I have here. I don't want to. A lot of this will be painted over, but I want the idea of them there. I want that tone to just sit behind these clouds, you know. Actually, just get it up in here. I just want that tone in it, that nice red sunsetty tone. Whoa! Me brush went flying. It went flying, I tells you. All right, okay. Right, okay, I'm going to now lay in some of the lighter. I think we need to put a little bit more white. And I have Winton oil colors. That's a nice titanium white. Right, so just give myself some room to think here. Right, okay. Right. Just cleaning that brush off that I was using, and all I'm doing is just wiping it on a bit of a cloth. I'm not really cleaning it, as it were. Now a lot of this is going to get really blended in, so it is. I'm going to be blending this in somewhat. By the time I'm finished on its first coat, it's just going to look nice and soft here and there. Okay. Little bit of yellow in it, just to get that sunsetty look to it here and there. All right. Okay, now let's get back to the clouds. A little bit darker. Now the same up along here. A little bit darker, a little bit blue, a little bit of red, cadmium red in it. Ultramarine. Trying to get the cloud, trying to paint the cloud in the way that it's blowing. You see the directional sense that I'm using there? Very nice. Okay, coming along, folks. Coming along, coming along. Again, now just taking a little bit off because I forgot to do over this side. Yes, I forgot. I forgot about it. Forget about it. Okay. There we No. This is just... Okay. Now, get a bit of a braider thing going on here. All right, now blend this in a little touch here and there. I just don't want all those edges on it just yet. I can sort that out when the time comes. It probably needs to be a bit yellowed up too, but I'll do it whenever it has dried. Now the grasses here. Some raw umber and some yellow. Okay. I'm just using this fawn brush. Now I still need a tree line to put in there, but this is not quite as viscousy or less viscous as I would like, but it's okay. Okay, now let me have a look at that. Is that off? It is a little bit off, but that's okay. I'll use the tree line to straighten it up. Okay, now just down at the base here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. A lovely jubbly. Right. Bum ba bum bum bum. Now what I'm going to try and do here is I'm trying to not cover up too much of that red. This red here. I want some of that to pop through. Now not all of it. I just want some of it showing through. But and also what I will be doing here is I will be softening it. So I have to keep that in mind, because if I come over and soften this too much, it will cover up the red. So all of that has to be in your mind at least, you know. A little bit of green on it here, a little bit of that yellow, just to soften these edges. Very nice. Now. I really want these edges. I'm just being cautious of my edges, folks, before I do anything. All right. Now softening it a touch. Just a little makeup brush, little fawn brush. Just taking the edges around it here. Bringing that up. Really softening that. I want this to be like a misty, like a misty edge to this softened my tree. Look at that. Oh yeah, like a misty day, misty tree. Very nice. Now I'll put, before I forget, I will put in that that hedgerow here. Let me see just. Now it's a little bit uneven, so I'm just going to mark where I want this the end to come up to here. Actually, to cover this up, what I'll do is I'll bring it a little bit higher in certain areas. Nice wee quick one, folks, for you to work on. You come home from work and you think, I can't be bothered getting the paints out. It takes forever to do this and it takes forever to do that. Well, not really. You know, not really. You can just, now if you're tired, that's a different matter. You know, but it doesn't take much to create this. All right, so a bit of a, let me see what I have been doing. Now I need to put a little bit of yellow out. Just an old beat up brush. This is one of those really cheap ones that I use. Very little value. I don't even think there's a name on it. Oh, there is a. It's a Zero Rosemary & Co. Filbert Series 47. Now, just getting in underneath that hedgerow there. The same here. Just putting this in. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I'm adding a little bit of white to it because I'm finding it a little bit too transparent. So I'm just going to use the white for a bit of opaqueness. Okay. Now if you've noticed, I have stayed away from the front of this because this is where the shadow of the tree is affecting the light here. But what I want to do is I want to edge a little bit of this. Just a little bit. I don't want to be too dark, but you definitely want you to know that there's an edge to this. Alright, now getting there, folks. Getting there nice and slowly. I think I'm going to want to soften a whole lot here, so I'm going to get another brush here, another fan brush, clean one, and just soften this whole thing up. Very nice. Just get the whole thing all nice and softened. Look at that. Oh yeah, that helps now. That helps give it an ethereal sense to it. I'm not happy with, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to really soften these edges here a bit more than what I have. Just not happy with them. Really want the edges of this to be to be undefined basically in certain areas, but you know, you still have to be able to tell that it's a tree. There is that, you know. Bum, 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 bum. Now what I'm using here is just an old makeup brush. It's a blending brush. Really does the trick. Wonderful for it. Alright, okay. Now, just softening, just wiping the excess off that, and then just, again, coming along and softening the edge. Okay. I think a lot of the trees and the branches in whenever it's dried. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add in the water here. Okay. All right, now I'm just going to remove this here just for the reflection, the biggest reflection. All right, and then let's work that in, and then I will call this a day for now. But I need to work this in first. If I can find me a brush to do such a thing. Yeah, this'll do, hopefully. All right, okay. And I'll come back and finish it up. So, see you all again soon enough. Bye for now. Okay, folks, right. Now, back to this one. Now, I'm not keen on the shape of this tree, so I'm going to change the shape of it a little bit. So or at least I'm going to try and do such a thing. Just going to get in some base in first here. Just getting this background in that I said to myself that I wasn't going to paint over, and then I went ahead and painted over. So it is what it is. Right, get this in. Now let's change the shape of the outside of it here. So let me see now. What is that? That's okay. Too yellow, a bit too yellow indeed. A little bit of oxide red in that. Let's bring it out a touch. There you go. Now, taking a whole load off the brush, leaving hardly any on the brush. And then I'm going to add some of that liquid fine detail. And I'm just going to start scraping this in. That's not so bad. Now, this will allow me to... It can't really be a glaze, so it can't, because I'm covering up a darker area of the tree here. If it's a glaze, you'll see that covered up area. Okay, it won't kind of work in the same way. I just really did not like the look of this tree. I don't think it was working for me. So I'm just going to give it another bit of a base here and see. Let me create a base at the base of it. So some oxide red and some black here. A little bit of yellow on it, just to lift it a touch. And this is just its base, basically. You just want to widen this up a touch. Let me see. Very good. Get this all coming together here. And a little bit more orangey green than what I have here. Just lifting the tone a bit because I'm coming up to the edges of the tree here. There now. A little bit greener still, a little bit lighter still. Oh yes, this is better. I think anyway. To my eyes it is. It's getting better, it's getting there. Yeah, I'm a bit happier with that. I think this area here is a bit too high up. It's going to drop it down a bit. Let me see now. I need this anyway. Let me see, is that a bit too, it's a bit too bright. A bit too bright. It needs a little bit less saturation too. Look at that, that's almost perfect. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Just brighten it a little bit. Alright, no, that was just a wee alarm that I had going. So let's see now where we is. Yeah, I'm getting there with this. So I am. I'm getting there with this. I want the whole thing to be a wee bit more squat, you know. And I think I'm going to try and create that just about here. And again, trying my best to not entirely cover up this light shining through the tree here. Now I think I'm happier with that. I'm just going to soften the edges here a touch. Very good. Want that nice ethereal look to it. Yeah, that's a bit better. Now, yes, I'm happier with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place in a little tree branch and trunk type of thing. Just using a flat brush to do this. That's one of the cheap ones. And I'm just going to place it. Let me see. I'm not settled on it yet. That's okay. All right, okay. Now, time to work back on the sky again. Right. So, I made myself a bit of kitchen roll, just wipe off a little bit of this, what's already on the brush. So, I'm going to work up in here-ish, and we'll see. I want it a bit softer than I have it, maybe, but we'll see. We will see. More of a glaze than anything else, but yeah, let me see. Just going to try out a few things here. It's a bit too white for me. Okay, all right, not bad now. Now let's cover some of that up with some cloud. Get myself a wee cloud in here and there. And the way I'm doing this as well will help also soften those edges a touch. A little bit coming off the brush a bit too much. There, look at that. And I'm starting to pull it together now. Okay, so getting there, folks, getting there. A game of this and a game of that, you know. Kind of the point. It's just to keep working at it, getting your values right, getting your tones right as best you can. I think you'll find that that will be the secret sauce to it all. The moment you start working on your tones and you getting your tones where you want them, that will be the thing that brings it all together for you. And you start to recognize, oh, this is how I really create shapes. This is how I create moods and feelings and what have you. Okay. Now I'm just going to bring this down a bit here, a bit more, just make it more of an actual cloud just there. I'm going to lighten this area up in here a bit. So we do have a definite edge to a cloud here. As much as I want it soft and dreamy, still want some edges there. Look at that. That's nice. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to create a nice base here. I want to use a different brush. Again, just another wee cheap flat one. Now my purpose of this painting is to make it quick. So that you can come in after work, you can come in on the days when you can't be bothered and you go, I can throw this up in 45 minutes. Give yourself something nice to do. Anywho, enough of that. So I'm going to work on this area here. So a little bit of a nice orange glaze with what I have down. A little bit of oxide red, just to change the orangey nature of it, as it were. Okay, now lots of liquid. Okay. Now you see, now look at the way that that has warmed that. Now I will be mixing on the canvas this time. Excuse me. Now I've already layered down this glaze, and it's obviously still wet. So I'm just going to use here what's already, but the later part of this here, and I'm just going to create some of the later parts in the water, having a blend in. And the fact that that's blending in so nicely, that's really nice. Look at that. Okay, now you'll be wanting a little bit of it here and there. Just using the finger there to help with that. Helps sell that idea. Where's the other brush? That'll do. And all I'm doing here, folks, is just creating some variance in the water. Creating the idea that there's more going on is all I'm trying to do. Creating a concept of the water. Now when you see, now watch. Now because this is already slightly wet, this is going to work, should work quite well, as long as I don't do anything to mess it up. There, look at that. Softly. Just getting that to blend in a touch. There now. Working back and forward. Back and forward, back and forward. Now, I'm just going to put in a brighter area here, just directly, because this is going to be a... Actually, I'll do that now. I'll just do that now. So I'll have a spot beneath me as well there to work with. Okay, a bit more yellow than what I have there, and that's okay. All right, we're getting there. Now I want to bring in a little bit of the cloud. Oops. And just trying to balance everything together. Bring it all together. There we go. Now I'm not keen on this area up here, so let's just block that off a little bit. There we go. Now, right, now back to the white of this area here, or the slightly brighter area, just here, right beneath it. Just slightly working that in. Don't want to be too rough with it at this stage. And then adding another layer of it. And then working this in a touch, just barely touching this, folks. Just softening it in. There we go. Now we have get ourselves a nice little reflection. Now, I'm just going to just glaze a little bit of this area up here, just around the edges. Now, too much on the brush. Just to create that nice warm silhouetted edges of this tree. Going a bit too far, going a bit too far. Now that widens the tree a little bit for me, and I'm a bit happier with it. At least I hope, and I'll probably come back tomorrow and go, what have I done? But for now, I'm happy with it. Okay, I'm going to work on this area down here and put this in, and I think that is, I'll call this a day in lawn sense. Let me see. Okay. All right, okay. So, let's get in the darker areas here. Okay, now just working that in. I laid down the foundation and I created just very definite lines, and now all I'm doing is just working those lines in. That's nice enough now. There we go. Now the same at the base here, along down here. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to splay the bristles of the brush out by pushing it down onto the palette, like so, but I'm not going to do it in the back of my hand, of course. But if you look at the palette, come over to the palette, I'm just twisting the brush, splaying that out, just creating an opened brush, like so. And now I'm going to create some grasses. All right, there's a few grasses down along the base. Now, all I think that I would like to do here is first of all work this in. I'll soften that edge a little bit there, and then lighten this area up here. And I think that will do me. So I does. I think that will do me. Now I'm going to be cautious with this. I'm going to work this in with my finger whenever the time comes. Let me see, I'll do it right now. Just blending that in, creating a nice soft sheen here. Look at that. That's nice now. All right, okay. Now, I'm not happy with the state of the tree. At the minute. Getting there though. Yeah, bit better, indeed. It's all a game of back and forward, folks, back and forward. Trying your best to balance it out to your own eye, to what your own eye will tell you. You do what you think is nice for it. Okay? That's the point. Oh goodness me, look at this, look at what I've done there. That's not at all the way I wanted it. Not at all. But that allows me to come in with this correction. Aye, happier enough with that. Happier with that, as I should say. Just creating a few darker areas of the tree. Yes. All right, I think so. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a wee step back, folks, and see what I think overall. Now, I don't know how long this took, not including drying times. I think it probably took maybe less than an hour, but I'm unsure. You'll know whenever the video's up. I think that's nice. Nice little sunset. Soft tree. Nice and soft. I've been making nice small painting hanging on a nice wee white wall. That's nice. Okay, folks. See you all in the next one. All of that, please like and subscribe stuff, please. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon enough. So, bye for now.